Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between, I am OverHugs, and I'd like to welcome you to another Snapshot video, which is why you see us with no armor and flying, which is not something we normally do. I was gonna make a video this week, and then the new Snapshot came out, and oh my goodness, did I get distracted. You may notice that there is a different tree behind us than you may have seen before. And this is completely new in this snapshot that ties into the Lush Caves. And quite frankly, I expected to look at this snapshot and I expected to be like, yeah, that's nice and move on. But I got completely caught in this for the couple of days. This is an azalea tree. And underneath azaleas, you will find a new type of dirt texture, which is this, which is the rooted dirt. And if you follow these dirt blocks down, we'll just go into spectator mode to do it, you will find Lush Caves. And these are gorgeous. Like, if this is what, I can't believe like this is what Minecraft is going to be like for underground with these new cave biomes, because it's beautiful. We haven't done a snapshot video in a while, so I'm going to go through and show some of the new features that are underground. And it's kind of hard to see everything here. Like, it looks great on my screen, but I'm sure YouTube compression and everything is not going to make this very nice. So let's give ourselves some night vision. Okay, so now this should be very clear whenever you're seeing it. There's a whole bunch of blocks that have not been used here before. There's a whole bunch of new things that we showed in the snapshot, and I'm going to keep F3 up for a while because I don't even know the names of a bunch of these things. Like, if we come up here and we take a look at this is a spore blossom, and it has those nice particle effects, and these are glowberries if I remember correctly. Yeah, cave vines and glowberries within them. We have here more azaleas, which I think the trees turn into these bushes instead of dropping as sticks. And over here, we have drip leaves. So back into creative mode, if you stand on these long enough, they bend and you fall off them. So there's some interactivity here and some ability to come through and play games and have parkour off of it. And it's just amazing. But let's go further down, because one of the other things that is absolutely crazy here is some of the size of these caves that can generate now. You just have caves where this would have been a pretty big cave. Like, this is a decent sized cave in previous versions of Minecraft, and down here it would definitely be on the larger side. But some of these just go on and on now. We're specifically in a world that only does the Lush Caves biomes, which is why this looks a little different. I wanted to start out with this just because they're amazing. Like, I'm looking at this and I'm getting so much inspiration from how I'm going to build my base when it comes into 1.17. Just looking at some of these new textures. This is Deepslate, and this is one of the new textures that's going to come out with 1.17, and it's just beautiful. Like, looking at this is going to completely change how I build paths and castles and so many other things. It's just got some great texture. As well as we have Tough, which we saw in one of the earlier videos when we went through the geodes that existed in the world. But now these large caves have these supporting columns, which just adds so much realism to it. Like, having these big empty caves before with no support structure just didn't look right, and it's amazing how much one little touch can give you. So let's go through and see. Now we're under the world, and one of the changes that has happened is if you look at our Y up here in the area, we're negative. Like, so the world now negatively goes down when it's hitting bedrock, so we can go up through, and we're not even at 0 yet, so the depth of the world is going to be so much further. This is where 0 is in the world, and you look at the amount of us below us and still above us when we're going. The height limit above in the overworld has also been increased, so you'll be able to see mountains that are crazy high. And further along in the snapshot review, I'll go into an amplified world in order to show you. But I wanted to lead off with these Lush Caves because I'm looking at these, and I was excited about 1.17 before, but now my mind is just completely blown. Like, building a base in something like this is gonna be fantastic. Like, I can just think of all the ways that I can play with light and shadow and color in a area like this, especially with new things that come down, and the glowstones are new light sources, and We have new ores as well, like they've retextured all the ores with the exception of diamonds so that they're more friendly to colorblind players, which I think is great. So redstone looks a little different, and this is actually a deep slate redstone ore. So when you're further down in the world, it's not always going to look the same. You can have deep slate redstone and regular redstone, so it's just going to add, again, more variety. Over here, what is this, iron? Or is this, yeah, this is iron. So this is deep slate iron, and sorry, I'm a little flabbergasted here because I think Mojang has outdone themselves with this. This is amazing, and I am so looking forward to 117 now, so much more than I was. All right, now let's check out an amplified world just to see how crazy this actually can go. So this should take a little bit longer to generate because Amplified really uses all the space that you can in a Minecraft world. It will not be unusual to see some mountains go pretty close to build height, if not all the way to build height. So let's get into it. All right, and here we are in an Amplified world, and you can just see like how crazy it can be with some of these going way up and some of the really interesting, yeah. I'm a little speechless in case you couldn't tell just how amazing this looks. And we're now, where are we? We're now above what would have been build height before. If you look at the number over here, we're at 278 and previously build height was 256. So we are now above the height that we could have possibly built before. And this isn't even the tallest structure in the area here. We are right now in a desert biome. Like, this isn't even a mountains biome. This is a desert biome, which is crazy. Like, so we have these huge things that come up in an amplified world, and it's just amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So here's just another area I found in this random world that looks great. Like, imagine what this could look like with shaders, where the water looks a bit more realistic and this kind of like waterfall flowing down from this area, which as we look up seems to be a reasonably large hill until we turn around and realize that as we're going up this hill, we have another structure here that is just mammoth. And again, like, we are playing on Amplified, so this probably won't be what you'll see in a regular world, but just look at this. Look at this structure and the size of it. Just imagine what you could do with something like this, with a mountain of this size and how everything looks. It's crazy. Like, this is some of the advantages of the new build height. However, this is the caves and cliffs update, so let's go underground and check out some of the stuff down there. We're now back in a regularly generated Minecraft world because I didn't want to spend too much time in things that most people probably won't play in. But even so, this is a normal cave that you'll see in the Caves and Cliffs update. And something like this is probably where I'm going to do my build. Like, I'm going to change my base, I think, when I go to 117. Just after seeing all this and all the stuff you can do with the Lush Caves, like, it's so inspiring. I think I have to relocate my base when 117 comes out and build underground. But these caves are monstrous. Like, looking at the size of some of these, they just go on and on and on, and you have these crazy features. While this is all deep slate, you can look up here and see the different biomes that we're in. So as we transition from the ocean to the beach, to a river, to a beach again, and then, like, as we're going through here, we get different types of deep slate, and the color variations of the biomes are crazy. Like, it just looks beautiful. This does mean that you're going to have to choose your biome carefully, because I don't think that you're going to be able to do this. This will probably be very similar to how water works in a swamp, where the color of the water changes when you're in the biome, but you can't actually get a different kind of deep slate, which is almost a shame, but that's probably not what will happen. I still love deep slate though. But I mean, look at this cave. Look at how big it is. Like, think about what you could do with this for a base. It is just incredibly inspiring. So I'm super looking forward to it. All right, if I found this in my world, I would 100% use this in order to build a new base. Like, coming through here, we have this amazing lava feature that could be here to provide some light and really just add atmosphere. One of the things that I hadn't even considered before is these amethyst geodes can be open to caves. Like, that's beautiful. Looking at that as an accent point and the different things you could do with it is just crazy. And again, the size of these caves that you could use and the verticality and the different tiering and levels, I'm picturing. Again, the thing that I really, really want is different colored lighting. Because imagine these different areas having different colors of lighting, like different purples and blues and greens, and just these cooler underground colors and textures. And it would be amazing to build a base in something. And it's huge. Like, look at how big this is. We're just flying through and we're not even close to the other side yet. Like, imagine this as a base. This is also another block that we have not seen before. This is smooth basalt, and I'm really glad that they're putting more uses for basalt in, because basalt just seemed like a really wasted block, that it only had 2 possible textures to it. So that looks kind of nice, and I'm looking forward to building that as well. Since we haven't done an update in a while, I also wanted to talk a bit about the glow squids. These are interesting. I'm a little happier than I was when I first found out that these were the choices that was picked as part of the new mobs, because I figured that all they were going to do was just look different and go around. And let's take away our night vision effect to show what they actually look like in water. So now we've removed our night vision effect, and you can see that while they do light up and they show up as visible, they are not a lighting effect. Like, if we summon them here, they don't shed any light. They just show up as not shaded dark within the world themselves. So that is a little disappointing. I'd like to see them if they were actually lights. Like, you could do some cool things in bases by encasing them in water and glass and then have them be the actual light source, but that would probably require a pretty significant graphical overhaul. When you kill a glow squid, you now get glow squid ink, which you can use in order to craft some new items. And let's go and show that off. One of the other new things you can do with this is it will change dyes. Like, as you see in the middle of the day here, these signs are not very readable. But if we go and set the time to night, you see that it completely changes what this sign looks like. Even though these are dyed the same color, this one was dyed using a glow ink sac. And I can come over here and hit it and do the same thing, and you can see that it changes and now they look identical. So this definitely will help with some readability, particularly at night. Again, they don't emit light, which again is slightly disappointing. I would like to see that. If they were light emitting, that would be fantastic. But again, probably too big of a change for Mojang to implement. We also have some new functionality with item frames. If you take an item frame and you put it in with a glow ink sac, you get a glowing item frame. This can have some interesting applications as well. If we take the regular item frame and a glowing item frame, put them right next to each other, you see that it definitely does increase the visibility of the item. It again is not emitting light, but it is not taking on the shadow that would come. And if we set the time to the day, you can see that it does still look a little bit different, but it doesn't really change the visibility as much. Very similar to what we did with our text and our signs over. And with that, I think I'm going to call this a episode. Like I said, I was going to... Hello, spider friend. How you doing? Like I said, I was definitely working on the episode, and then I got completely involved in checking out all the Lush Caves and everything, because they are amazing. So if you're interested in these snapshots at all, I highly encourage you to download it and check it out. And if you find anything that looks really cool, let me know. I would love to see what you discover. So once again, I wanted to thank you for choosing to spend your time on the adventure with me today. I am OverHugs, and this has been a snapshot review. I also do a series called Building Bread, and we donate the profits that we make of both these series to local food banks. So if you've enjoyed or otherwise gotten something valuable out of this today, I would really appreciate it if you could like, subscribe, or tell a friend. Together, we can help people that are in need. I hope you have the most wonderful of days, and I'll see you soon.